In the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the ACC's Wake Forest Demon Deacons take on the midshipmen of Navy, whose ground attack helped the Mids win the first meeting back in September. Now, Wake looks for payback in RFK as college football's bowl season begins today with the inaugural Eagle Bank Bowl. The Washington Monument standing tall on this gray, overcast, cold day in Washington, D.C. as we welcome you to the inaugural Eagle Bank Bowl. Historic RFK Stadium, home to the Redskins for some 36 years. Today, the midshipmen now taking the field. 20,000 fans along with them. The folks from North Carolina have come up to see Wake Forest as well. Navy coming in at 8-4, and the Demon Deacons 7-5 on the season. And hi again, everybody. Glad to have you with us. Terry Gannon along with David Norrie, Quint Kesnick down on the field. The bowl season officially about to get underway. Pretty good matchup here too, David. You look at the nation's top ground attack in Navy against one of the most opportunistic defenses that includes the Butkus winner and another All-American at cornerback, but not many have slowed down that triple option offense.
Yeah, this Navy offense, it's an absolute ground machine. They've led the country 3 straight years on the ground. And it all starts outside with a bona fide home run threat in Shun White. 4'4" guy with the ability to really test you on the perimeter. And then Eric Katani, the fullback, he'll line up directly behind the quarterback. He's got exceptional speed as well. He will split safeties, and if he gets behind the secondary, he's always a threat to take it to the painted area. For Wake Forest, you look at Aaron Curry, the linebacker. He's going to have a lot of responsibility playing both the quarterback and the pitch this afternoon. The Butkus Award winner, probably a top 5 pick in this spring's NFL draft. A very exceptional athlete on the outside. And then Alphonso White, a cornerback, first-team All-American. He won't have many opportunities this afternoon to defend the pass, but he is still a very good cornerback coming up, slipping blockers and making tackles against the pitchman on the perimeter.
These two teams hooked up in Winston-Salem earlier this year. Navy got the better end of that deal, 24-17. Wake Forest turned it over 6 times in that game. 800 midshipmen have made their way here to RFK. Those who are not here send their best. Quint, an emotional day for some of the midshipmen today.
Well, and especially the seniors, Terry, because in a way they're playing their last organized football game today. That is, except Eric Katani, the fullback, will be playing in the Senior Bowl. But this is the end. There's no NFL in their future. 6 months from now, they'll be deployed around the United States and the world to represent America and defend the flag. And when you look at this Navy team today, it is a team that is really backing their seniors. Yesterday at the banquet, Wake Forest and Navy in attendance. The seniors of Navy were recognized. The entire Wake Forest team stood and gave them a standing ovation. It was a sign of mutual respect for 2 programs that stand for the best in college football.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go back to that first matchup this year, David, there was some extracurricular after the whistle throughout, but, you know, a lot of respect shown at the banquet. Wake won the toss. They'll receive. John Teague gets us underway. Devon Brown back inside his own 5-yard line. Wide receiver bringing it back across the 20 and out to the 23. So that's where Wake Forest will get things started. And they've got a guy running the show who has done it many times. He is the winningest quarterback in the history of Wake. He's got 25 wins in his career, Riley Skinner, but he also threw 4 interceptions in that first matchup.
Yeah, for the first 10 games of the season for Wake Forest, Riley Skinner did not throw an interception, with the exception of 4 picks against Navy. Navy played exceptionally well in the secondary, and look for Riley Skinner to not try to test this team as much vertically this afternoon.
Kevin Harris getting a start at tailback, which is a bit of a surprise. Can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Ross Pospisil, the inside linebacker, made the initial hit, but he had help. Harris getting a start. He played a lot in that final game against Vanderbilt, but he was at one point the 3rd-string fullback throughout the season. Jim Grobe saying it was a battlefield decision to give him a start today. Not much of a gain on 2nd down for Harris.
Well, Wake Forest opening up with some no huddle, trying to change the pace against Navy. And we talked about Riley Skinner and the struggles he had in the first game against Navy. Tried to take too many shots down the field, and I think Steve Labotsky, the offensive coordinator, and he talked to us earlier this week,
They want to stretch the field horizontally and work against Navy in some of the short and intermediate zones.
So it's 3rd and 6 from the 28. We'll see if Skinner goes to the air. He's out of the shotgun now. Skinner stepping up, plenty of room to throw or run. Closes down quickly though. Knocked down at the 25, Pospisil, and again in on the tackle. You know, we started talking about the Navy ground game and the Wake defense, but this has been a terrific defense, especially the last 2/3 of the year for Buddy Green and Navy.
Yeah, pitched 2 shutouts in the final 2 games of the season. In fact, they haven't given up a point in over 131 minutes. 131 consecutive minutes coming into this football game.
Shane Popham on to punt, and Wake just gives up nothing in terms of return yardage on punts. And a rugby-style punt. Mario Washington gets away from it. Pretty good roll for the Demon Deacons, down to the 32, and a punt of 44 yards with no return. So running the show for Navy, Kaipo Noah, Kahiaku, and Hada. And he does go by Kaipo, so we will call him that throughout the rest of the game. But a guy who was hurt this year, they're a different team when he's running the show for them. He's had a hamstring injury throughout most of the season and missed 7 games.
Kaipo's seen it all, and he is a master working the triple option. A lot of decision making in this offense after the snap of the football, the read, and he either gives to the fullback or he pulls it and continues outside on the option.
First series starts at the 31. On the pitch, Sean White's got a big hole, gets to the outside. Foot race inside the 40. To the 31, Kevin Patterson ran him down there, but a huge gain on the first play from scrimmage for Navy. Gain of 39.
We saw head coach Ken Niumatalolo with some enthusiasm on the sideline. This is a big play. First play from scrimmage. Sean White was shut down in the first game against Wake Forest, but it takes a while to get used to the speed and execution of this offense.
No matter how much you practice against it, you can't duplicate that speed. Down at the 30, Sean White right at the line of scrimmage. We check out our Navy mutual impact players, including the fullback Eric Katani, who's gone over 2,000 yards for his career.
Sean White has been the designated slot man and pitch man for Navy, and you know, he has not given this offense much balance because there aren't any slot backs to go to, with the exception of Sean White on the outside, and then Pospisil, the leading tackler. Some big interceptions throughout the course of the season.
Pospisil already a couple of tackles. They give it to the fullback this time. It's Katani ahead for a couple just outside the 26-yard line. And this is what Navy does to you, and it's what they did in that first matchup with Wake Forest. David, they were up 17-0 at half, and they kept the ball for almost 37 minutes of that game.
And Navy took a 2-touchdown lead early in that football game, and when you talk to defensive coordinators about going up against this offense, they say it's impossible to duplicate the look, the speed, the execution in practice, and oftentimes it takes a couple possessions to get up to speed on defense.
Kaipo keeps it, looks for room, and is not going to get there. With good speed and pursuit, Stanley Arnew, the senior from Sunrise, Florida, on the hit.
Kaipo is not as much of a threat at the quarterback position when he keeps as a Sean White on the outside or an Eric Katani at fullback, but he is nifty. And Coach Niumatalolo compared him to Graham Harrell at Texas Tech, said he's a very experienced quarterback. There are not a lot of things that he has not seen.
Matt Harmon on for a 40-yard try. He's been terrific this year. He's a Groza Award semifinalist, 17 of 19, and good. So Navy with that big burst on the first play from scrimmage, 39-yard run by Sean White, setting up a Harmon field goal there on the board first, 3-0. Mentioned that last meeting, September 27th, and Skinner just having an awful time against that Navy defense.
Yeah, he really did. And you know, Navy used a lot of 8-man drops and pass coverage. They were able to get some pressure with 3- and 4-man rush. And it was one of the games, probably the worst game that Riley Skinner has played in 3 years. for Wake Forest. Did not throw the ball very accurately and made some bad decisions.
Jared Bryant, you saw him running the quarterback position in the second half of that game because Kaipo Noah went out with a hamstring. He had it aggravated in the game, and that was a frustrating time. He thought about walking away at some point this year. Devon Brown bringing it back again from his 2. Still up. Good return out to the 24 for Brown. There's just a crazy ACC season this year.
Unbelievable.
Where almost everybody had a chance to win the league title coming down to the last week of the season. 1st and 10, Skinner gives it off. Harris is going nowhere. Wrapped up right away, Nate Frazier, the junior from Atlanta, and a big key to that defensive front.
Yeah, Frazier was a force in the first game. We've already mentioned the first game quite a few times, but he was a force, and Wake Forest continuing to go no huddle.
A loss of 4 on the play. Frazier, Jabari Tuwani, a terrific freshman on one end, and Matt Nishak, the junior from California, on the other end. Harris looking for room, has it initially. Close to a first down. Kevin Harris, the junior from Sanford, Florida, and a gain of 15. So he picks up the first down. Michael Hogue sprung him with a block. Little change on that offense.
The offensive front has been a problem all year long. Coming into the season, only 1 returning starter, injuries up front. They've had to play with a combination of true freshmen and redshirt freshmen, and they're well documented the struggles that Wake Forest has had, and it has all started with the offensive line and an inability for most of the season to run the football.
Operating against the defense that had back-to-back shutouts to end the season. Harris just bringing people with him, and that's what he will give you that a Brandon Pendergrass or a Josh Adams don't.
Kevin Harris, you go back to the 2006 season, the ACC championship year for Jim Grove and Wake Forest, and he got the majority of the carries. Mike Andrews went down, and he is an experienced back. He's only getting his 3rd start of his career this afternoon, but he's shown a toughness running the football, and he's hitting it quickly.
First and 10 from the 46. Ben Wooster's had a tough season with injuries. In motion, here's Harris, and not much going on. A gain of maybe 1, run out of bounds there by Corey Johnson, who was a 3-year starter on the basketball team at Navy. I mentioned Wake going to 3 straight bowls, 5-3 all time. And Navy, close losses the last couple, but this is their 6th straight year in a bowl game.
You look at Wake Forest, not much of a bowl history for Wake Forest. In fact, before Jim Grove came to the program, most wins in a season for the Deacs, 8.
Going to run it this way. Alfonso Smith getting the call on offense. The defensive back going the other way. Can't get around the edge, but he's down to the 47. The ball is loose. Navy has it. They're running the other way to the end zone. No signal back at midfield. That's a touchdown. Rashawn King picked it up and went all the way. And David, everyone kind of slowed up. I think they thought there was a whistle, and no one reacted initially.
Alfonso Smith, a brilliant run, reversing field.
Arm and on for the extra point. It's up and good with a flag at the end. Alfonso Smith, the All-American, giving it up to Rashawn King. He went 50 yards to the end zone, but they used him on offense last year in the bowl game. He had 3 receptions, and they've done it before.
Defense number 17. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
All right, so you heard the defensive penalty and the 15 yards on the kickoff, but he just didn't secure the football.
Well, and the Demon Deacons have had a real lack of potency on offense, Terry, throughout the year. So it figures Steve Labotsky, the offensive coordinator, is going to try to get another skill athlete into the game. And this was a special run by Alfonso Smith. I just thought it was an exceptional job by Middleton coming in, getting a hand on the football and stripping it.
Hey, Teague has been busy kicking off in this one already. That's his 3rd kickoff. Through the back of the end zone, it'll come out to the 20. Skinner DeLiz pressuring him out to Belton, but right at the 30. Well covered. There's the quick out to Harris. Looked for a block, but he was tripped up right away. Nate Frazier was in there pressuring Riley Skinner.
This front three on defense for Navy has been a real key throughout the season. They've done a great job against the run. Tuani, of course, the freshman. Frazier's been just a foundation in the middle of that defensive line. And then Nishak, the junior, at right end.
And Tuani may be exceeding expectations for these defensive coaches. Skinner flushed out of the pocket. He does throw on the run well, but run out of bounds. Chased down from behind. And it was Tuani, as we just mentioned his name, running down Riley Skinner.
Tuani got his first start as a freshman in the Wake Forest game.
That's right.
He has led this team in tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He leads a defensive lineman in tackles overall. And Riley Skinner being disciplined, just pulling the football down.
Popham gets the punt off. Mario Washington, the fair catch back at the 20. The longest return all year they've given up?
2 yards.
2 yards.
Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. That's a punt of 35 yards, no return, but the Navy offense back on the field when we come back. There are many times that you pass the mall on the way to the stadium, but not the National Mall. Washington Monument. Boy, what a, you come,
great city.
Come over here to RFK and you pass the Capitol and the White House and the Washington Monument. It's just
so much history.
Yeah. Different feeling coming to work, Mr. Norrie. 1st and 10, Navy from the 20. Kaipo on the quick pitch. Outside, not much. Ahead for a couple, maybe. Greg Shanego, number 29, the senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, tripped up by Brandon G.
Well, he talked about Kaipo operating in this triple option offense. And watch how quickly the quarterback responsibility defender shows, and Kaipo, no problem, quickly gets the ball outside, dishes it to the pitch man. Every time he takes a snap, he is reading a defensive lineman on the line of scrimmage, and that dictates whether he gives the ball to Katani or continues outside on the option.
You got a quick split second to make that read, and the defense as well. If you're on the edge or you're a linebacker like Curry, and here comes Curry. He hits Kaipo hard, got the pitch off though. It's Bobby Doyle with a solid gain and a first down.
Navy has had success getting the ball outside on the pitch. They've really been testing Wake Forest on the perimeter.
Yeah, Katani had 175 yards in that game, and coming into this game, only 68 yards from 1,000. It would be the second time ever they had a backfield with 2 guys over 1,000 yards. Kaipo keeps it and brought down at the 47. John Russell, the junior from Jacksonville, Florida, on the stop.
You know, when you have a quarterback that doesn't threaten the way that a fullback and a pitchman does, a defender that has his responsibility, that is to take the quarterback, he can kind of soft play it. They call it a sweat technique, where you don't come up and commit and you just bide your time down the line and allow help to come. That's the way that Wake Forest is going to play Kaipo Noah this afternoon. 2nd and 8 from the 47. He's going to throw again. Hit hard, had his man through the arms
of Tyree Barnes, who slipped as he was just about to make the catch.
And it looked like Aaron Curry provided some pressure, and this ball might have been tipped. I think Tyree Barnes was trying to make an adjustment on the tip.
Well, look at that move.
Very nice outside swim move. Holds up a bit on the quarterback so he doesn't draw the flag, and Barnes is trying to make an adjustment to a deflected football. He is their go-to guy on the outside, and talk about a wide receiver playing at Navy with great ball skills. And
3rd down and 8 for Navy. Here's Kaipo on the run. He's going to keep it this time. Close to a first down. He may have it there. He stretches out to get across the 45.
This is going to be close, but what a nice run by Kaipo Noah. And this defense is starting to lean a bit on the pitchman outside. And Kaipo does a nice job of knifing the ball north and south whenever he gets the opportunity.
First Samoan Division I head coach, second Polynesian head coach. Larry Price led Navy some years ago, and they have been the leading rushing team, look at that, for the last 5 seasons. And had 292 yards on the ground in that first matchup against Wake. Kaipo's going to throw for the 3rd time. He's got his man inside the 40 is Barnes with the catch. A little short out and well read by Wake Forest, but you know you're concentrating on that triple option. You're concentrating. All of a sudden he comes back and you've got to react quickly.
And Barnes is a strong, talented athlete at wide receiver. Ivan Jasper, the offensive coordinator, made the comment that we are lucky to have a kid like that in the Navy offense. And nifty little call there, a delay route outside.
He had 18 catches on the year. No one else was out of single digits. Shun White is going to lose ground. Brandon G was there. He had help from Curry.
Brandon G read this play all the way. And Wake Forest has a couple cornerbacks that are very capable coming up and making plays on the outside. G's a bit taller, a bigger athlete than Alfonso Smith. Long arms. Not many negative plays against Ken Niumatalolo's offense throughout the course of this season.
So it brings up 3rd and 10, but the final seconds of the first quarter ticking off the clock, and it's been all midshipmen so far. They've got 800 of them here watching, about 20,000 fans in all, and around the world they're watching too. See if they can stop the Demon Deacons, and they are up 10-0 in the inaugural Eagle Bank Bowl from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. Reason to celebrate so far for the midshipmen who have made their way here. 10-0 Navy over Wake Forest in the Eagle Bank Bowl as we begin the second quarter. Temperature in the 30s as this is the 11th play of the drive for the midshipmen, and that is what they do. They keep it on the ground. They keep it on offense. Shun White, little hesitation and down close to the 37.
Navy picks up enough yards on 3rd down there that they have an opportunity to go on 4th here. They don't pick up a lot. Punting the ball away would be an interesting decision.
Looks like they're going to go.
I like it. I like the decision. It's a big drive for both teams.
13 for 21 this year on 4th down. Katani, the fullback, behind Kaipo. Shun White in the slot to the right. He goes in motion. The pitch to White. Cut back inside the 35 and a 1st down. So the midshipmen gamble on 4th down. Pretty good gamble though right there. I mean that's not that far out of the box.
I like the call. It's aggressive. You're in a bowl game. Talked about the seniors, their last game at Navy, 10-0 lead. Nice read. And watch Shun White. You hear so much about his speed and his home run ability on the outside, but he did a nice job planting that left cleat and getting the ball upfield in a hurry.
There he goes in motion again. It's all timing with that triple option, and Katani, the fullback, the call ahead for a few. I mentioned if he got to 1,000 yards, you'd have a couple of guys in the backfield going over 1,000 yards. They've both gone over 2,000 for their careers.
That's an amazing feat. And we talked about this offense, 3 years straight, #1 rushing offense in the country 4 out of the last 5 years. And this offensive line, so good up front. They come off quickly, utilize a lot of cut blocks, and that isn't very fun for defensive linemen facing those cut blocks all afternoon.
Kaipo to throw. To the sideline, incomplete. Tyree Barnes, again, the intended receiver. And again, Aaron Curry was in there to bother Kaipo Noah.
Aaron Curry is one of those linebackers with hand strength. And you know, Brad Lambert, the defensive coordinator, talks about the strength of Curry's hands and how he can play off of blockers, you know, redirect blockers. And he is going to be a joy to watch on Sundays.
Now that man, you think about winning the Butkus this year. You and I did a few USC Trojan games. Ray Maualuga
Brian Cushing.
It's hard to imagine, and this is the man who won that award.
Quite a tribute.
Typo to the inside, hit hard at the 30. That's Brandon G, who's been active. So he, along with Curry, two of the stars of this defense. For more on Aaron, here's Quinn.
Terry, I talked to the linebacker before the game and asked him about defending the option. He says it's tough. His mindset, typically, he has the uncontrollable urge to kill everyone he hits. And this is a game where he really has to break down and play assignment football. He says that is a huge mental challenge.
Yeah, you got to really rein yourself in a little bit in a game like this against this offense. Matt Harmon he already hit one from 40 yards. This one's from 47. Jared Bryant the hold. Plenty of leg and good again. This guy's good. He's been good all year long. 19 of 21 on the season is Harmon. So it's 13-0. Remember, they led 17-0 at half in the first game in September. Ken Niumatalolo loves it. 16-play drive. 16 plays that went 50 yards. Took over 7 minutes off the clock and ended up with a Harmon field goal. C.J. Washington bringing it back to the near side for Wake. And brought down hard at the 24-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Demon Deacons. Harris has got the bulk of the work on the ground. Across the 20 out to the 22. Here's Harris again around the right side across the 30, carrying people again all the way out close to the 45. 6'1", 225 pounds.
Well, this is what has been lacking for the Wake Forest offense in the 2008 season. They have struggled so mightily to run the football, and the offensive line finally starting to find some rhythm late in the season.
How about this for a stat for you with 2:38 and counting in the first? Wake Forest only has 7 passing yards. Navy has 32. Devin Harris across midfield, hit hard there. Along the Navy sideline, Tony Haberer on the stop. Hard to hurt this guy, though, as Adams comes on for him. Now, you got to give him credit for just hanging in there with Jim Grobe throughout the year. 3rd string fullback at one point.
Yeah, and he has a bit of fullback to him, but nifty enough between the tackles, quick enough, has the ability to slip you a bit, but he's going to run through tackles.
There are those numbers which have been surprising. And the fact that Wake has 124 yards on the ground and has more than Navy, even though it's 13-0.
Jeff Griffin moved inside to right guard, and Doug Weaver up to the right tackle position, and then Birdsong's going to switch from tackle to tackle every possession.
Adams, nowhere to run. And run out at the 40 by Corey Johnson. A big loss. And after the loss of 5, it's 3rd and 15. Skinner to throw. Not much success today doing that. Tough to find someone open, but he finally does. Complete down at the 32 to Bolden. Big gain in the first real positive passing play today for Wake Forest.
Yeah, this was a big situation for Wake Forest, facing a 3rd and long, and Riley Skinner, one of the best quarterbacks in the country with his feet. Watch him work the pocket. Working laterally, stepping up. And DJ Bolden as a wide receiver, you always want to be working down the field, trying to create separation, save your quarterback. A great play between quarterback and wide receiver.
Gain of 30 down to the 29. Quick out, Marshall Williams on the catch. You know, Skinner's had some time, but he hasn't been able to find anyone open downfield. He has on the last couple.
And when the pocket breaks down, he creates time. I think Riley Skinner is one of the rare quarterbacks in the country that is even more accurate when he's not throwing in rhythm from the pocket, but when he's on the move.
2nd and 3 out of the shotgun now again, on the move again. Skinner, the slide, and then hit at the 16.
Now, those hits by both defenders there came a bit late.
They'll move the chains, though. A gain of 6 on the play.
Terry, we talked about sitting down with Alfonso Smith and Aaron Curry and how great young kids they are, but Riley Skinner is one of the class athletes in the country and continuing to show his toughness.
Bolden open. There's a flag on the play to the end zone. No signal quite yet as they talk it over and call it a touchdown for Wake Forest. But there is a flag back at the 22.
Yeah, I think this is coming back. This is going to be against Wake Forest.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Joe Birdsong doesn't want to play Navy anytime soon. Got tossed from the first matchup. Now a big penalty.
Yeah, Joe Birdsong right here is going to get called for the hold. He got tossed in the first game against Navy earlier this year. Wow, that is, I'll tell you what, that was not a violent hold. I mean, he had a hold of the jersey inside, but I didn't see much of a hold on that play.
13-0 Navy. Skinner looking to throw. Here's sideline, got Bolden wide open. He's got another catch. DJ, who just had a touchdown, brought back because of the penalty. His third reception of the afternoon.
Just when you thought Wake Forest didn't have the firepower, through the majority of this first half, it didn't look like Wake Forest had any vertical threat in the pass game, but Riley Skinner's done a nice job finding Bolton twice on this drive, both on corner routes. And on that night and on that last throw, a great job of dropping the ball in over the linebacker level.
Clock management now. You got 2 timeouts, got 1:05. You got first and goal. And now it's second and goal from about the 4 as Adams gets tackled there.
This has been a real problem area for Jim Grobe and this offense. They have not been able to get it done in short yardage situations, goal line situations. It has hampered this team throughout the year.
Bolden and Williams to the far side. The quick pitch to Adams. Looking to get there, struggling to get there. Touchdown, Wake Forest. On the 12th play of the drive.
Nice blocks by Rinfret, the fullback, Joe Birdsong. And how about Josh Adams finishing off that run? Watch him lower the helmet.
He's been watching Kevin Harris.
He figured, hey, if I don't start running with that kind of physical resolve, I'm not going to get many carries.
Remember, initially, it started on the 2-yard line, that drive. Swank on for the extra point. Sam splits the uprights up and good. So it's 13-7. A lot of the credit to Paul Johnson, who's now at Georgia Tech and this offense and what he's learned from them. Jim Grove happy with the late scores. We send it down to Quinn.
With Coach Niumatalolo. Coach, I want to go back to the first quarter when Rashawn King scored that touchdown off the fumble. What were the emotions going on in your head to watch Rashawn make a play like that weeks after losing his dad?
Couldn't happen to a better kid. He's been through a lot, and it's kind of ironic that it happened to him because he's a great young man, comes from a great family.
Your seniors have 30 minutes of football. What would the message to them be at halftime?
We got to finish. We didn't finish last year. We got to finish this year.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Yeah, Ken said the hardest thing he had to do was to tell both Rashawn and Andre Bird that their fathers had passed away earlier in the season. Great first half for King. 13-7, Navy with the lead over Wake Forest. Now to Wendy Nix for the Flomax halftime report. Navy rocking early in that first half. Wake Forest late, putting 7 on the board. Back at the inaugural Eagle Bank Bowl here in Washington, D.C. RFK Stadium on a crisp, cold afternoon. It's gray as well. And Navy with the early points. We're out to a 13-0 lead, but Wake came storming back. Glad to have you with us once again. Terry Gannon along with David Norrie. Quinn Kesnick down on the field. That offense for Wake Forest struggling against the Navy defense. They had 7 passing yards until the last drive.
I think they kind of found their passing game, especially Riley Skinner. And in the second half, I think they're going to have to trust their passing game. They're going to have to trust the pass protection and Riley Skinner being able to move and help out that offensive line. And if Wake Forest wins this game, I think it's going to be with the plays in the passing game from Riley Skinner down the field to DJ Bolden.
That defense for Navy, though, playing great through most of the first half, so we'll see. Remember, Skinner threw 4 picks in the first matchup this year, also fumbled, and Wake had 6 turnovers. Sam Swank handling the kicking duties, and back deep Navy coming back from its own 6-yard line out to the 28. Pretty good return, and look ahead as to what Wake Forest is going to do in the second half. We toss it down to Quint Kesnick.
Yes, thank Terry. Spoke to Coach Grove about the sluggish start to this game. He didn't exactly pin it on the 11 a.m. kickoff, but he said it took his guys about a quarter to wake up. Now, what was most impressive to him on that last drive, Riley Skinner's ability to buy more time in the pocket. Defensively against the option, the big key says, you know, Navy is Navy. They're going to have success. But when we get them in a 3rd and 6 or longer, we have got to get off the field. We've got to make plays in 3rd and long.
And now Navy starting 1st and 10 from its own 29-yard line. Kaipo Noah changing the play, it looks like. They don't have many plays. They just run them well. The quick pitch. Greg Shanego brought down just outside the 30 at the 31 by Alfonso Smith, who had his 21st career interception, breaking the ACC record in the first half. And David, the numbers.
Hey, look at the passing numbers. Very paltry numbers for Wake Forest, only 65 yards through the air. As you mentioned, Terry, they picked up the majority of those yards on that last drive, and I think they're going to have to pick it up in terms of attempts and just giving Riley Skinner more opportunities to threaten the ball down the field.
Kaipo Noah, Kahaiku, and Hada running the show for the midshipmen. Going to keep it, almost chased down from behind, ahead for a gain of a couple. And it just got out of the grasp of Matt Robinson early on, who was a bit banged up on the play. And here comes Robinson, the 6th-year man. They call him Grandpa on this defense for Wake Forest. Broke his kneecap and was out for some time and decided to come back and give it a go.
Yeah, it's such a great sophomore year. He's been a real nice story for Wake Forest. It looked like he favoring that wrist or that left arm, but the way he has come back, he was a definite force on the defense this year for Wake Forest.
3rd and 1. Katani, the fullback, easily gets the first down. So they'll move the chains. Again, Navy playing in its 6th straight bowl game. Pretty good accomplishment for the midshipmen. And Wake Forest, for the first time ever, going to 3 straight bowl games. For Jim Grove, they're 5-3 all time.
Navy losing their last 2 by a total of 3 points. Ken Niumatalolo said that they were in good position in both of those bowl games. They just weren't able to finish.
The pitch, Shun White, who's been over 1,000 yards this year, over 2,000 for his career. A gain of maybe 1. Good pursuit by that defense. Chip Vaughn in on the tackle.
Yeah, Chip Vaughn is a safety who is a great tackler. He's capable of coming up and delivering the big hit. Been playing alongside Patterson, like Aaron Curry helping on the tackle there, but a couple safeties for Wake Forest that have been very good last line of defense type defenders.
Plus 16 in terms of turnover margin too this year. One of the better teams in college football, and down goes Kaipo. Chance McClintock, the weak side linebacker and a senior from Rome, Georgia. He started out as a defensive back in his career because of this speed.
And McClintock had to do a lot of work to gain the weight. And he's playing in the secondary, gained some weight, plays the outside linebacker position. He's really the unheralded member of that linebacker core. A very solid group of linebackers are new in the middle, and of course Aaron Curry gets all the credit on the other outside.
Loss of almost 8. It's 3rd and 17. Will Kaipo go back to throw here? Threw often in the first half for him and for this Navy offense, but they keep it on the ground with Katani and don't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. So on comes the punt team.
That's a good statement by Wake Forest on the opening possession of the second half to get this offense off the field. And Jim Grove looking a bit more confident than he did midway through the second quarter.
You look at what that defense has done against the nation's #1 rushing offense. They gave up 292 yards on the ground the first matchup. Today only 120. DJ Bolden backpedals to the 18. Up to the 27-yard line, and Riley Skinner in the Wake Forest offense going back to work. Quick toss. Kevin Harris had a big first half. The junior from Sanford, Florida, who played in that last game of the year, as we said, against Vanderbilt, and now gets the start here in the bowl game. But it was all Pendergrass and Josh Adams through the year, but they've been banged up. And so you get the toughness and the size of Kevin Harris in this game. He's got 100 yards on 14 carries. Skinner changes the play, having trouble though communicating. Now they got it. Harris breaks through initially out to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. Wyatt Middleton along with Corey Johnson on the stop.
Wake Forest is testing that left side. Joe Birdsong, the big offensive tackle, left tackle, and Joe Looney, a true freshman, playing at the left guard position. Not many true freshmen have played for Jim Grove over the years under his tenure. Very few.
Doesn't like to do it. He says, at the very least, you got to be on the field for 20 or 30 plays, or I'm not going to play you as a true freshman per game. Skinner, design run, has a big hole, has a first down as he slides out at the 42.
This looked like it was a design play, and I really love watching Riley Skinner play football. He may not be a guy that's going to play at the next level, but he is really a special athlete to watch playing college football at quarterback. Look at his feet, great vision, toughness, and smart enough, Terry, to get down when the big guys are closing in.
Business major, wants to go into real estate, family business. Look at that. Same amount for both teams. Harris, number 47, Matt Nishak, the junior from Canoga Park, California, on the stop.
He sat down with Steve Labotsky, and he said that he wanted to give Navy a dose of their own medicine in this game, and I think to some degree he's been successful. Harris already over 100 yards. They've been able to control the clock, and with the exception of that turnover by Alfonso Smith, done a nice job of controlling the football and the clock.
Steve Labotsky, who played at Air Force. Yeah, again, tough running and close to a first down for Mike Winfred. The fullback, he may have it. For more on Riley Skinner, what do you have, Quint?
Terry, talking to Riley Skinner before the game, he mentioned having to watch the Navy game so many times this week in preparation. Those 4 turnovers, those 4 interceptions he had, he said they felt like hundreds. Today for him was a chance at redemption. He couldn't have been happier to playing Navy, a team he called it his most disastrous effort of his college career.
Yeah, and look at that record, 18-3 when he does not throw an interception, under 500 when he does. Harris tiptoes outside, still up. Going to make some people pay if he's going to be brought down. Wyatt Middleton made the initial hit. 24-17 the final in that game at Winston-Salem.
Yeah, and one of these interceptions was on anybody else but Riley Skinner. Some poor throws, not reading things correctly. Granted, there was some pressure in the pocket at times, but I thought all 4 picks were either bad decisions or misfires by Riley Skinner, and very frankly, Terry, he could have had 6 in that game. A couple drops by Navy defenders.
Well, he's only thrown 7 all year long, and a guy who's gone over 6,400 yards for his career, over 2,000 yards each year. Harris out of the backfield, inside the 15. Kevin Harris has been the man so far for Wake Forest. Gain of 32, David.
Well, they're going to just slip Kevin Harris out of the backfield and watch Riley Skinner work the pocket again, keeping that right foot loaded. And he has a nice touch with his right arm, the ability to drop the ball into holes down the field over the linebacker level. Nice throw.
They're at the 12, 1st and 10 out of the I. Left side, ahead for a couple. Fred leading the way at that fullback spot. Josh Adams on the carry. He had a terrific year last year and is the 2nd leading rusher. Came in with just under 390 yards on the year, but he had meniscus surgery in June. Slowed coming back from that. Slowed him early in the year. Then he had an ankle injury too.
Yeah, he is a good all-around back. We've seen him a couple times on blitz pickup against blitzing linebackers, and also pretty good catching the football out of the backfield.
gets the pitch, cut back, battles his way down to the 5. Middleton on the stop.
You know, Terry, you made a great observation with Josh Adams coming in the game. You know, as a back, and you're not getting carries, and you watch Kevin Harris and the way that he's popping the football up inside and running with a lot of resolve and the physical style of running that Kevin Harris has unveiled this afternoon. Adams gets in the football game, and he's running with a lot of stubbornness, lowering the helmet, taking on defenders.
It's a big play right here. 3rd and 3 on the 10th play of the drive. Adams again, fighting his way down into the end zone. Touchdown. And his offense has come alive. The Wake fans here throwing some confetti at RFK. Skinner, Adams, Harris, the big 3 on that drive. Sam Swank on for the extra point. Line drives it up and good. And for the first time all day, Wake Forest has the lead over Navy with 5:50 left in the 3rd here in the nation's capital. The White House all spruced up for Christmas, for the holidays. Just down the street from where we are here at RFK Stadium, new occupant going in January 20th. And I think the folks are a little excited here in Washington, D.C. about the inauguration.
Oh, they are anticipating with great excitement.
Maybe
There's
a couple
buzz in the air.
A couple million people here in D.C. Alex Teach bringing it back up fullback, upended out at the 29. They scramble for the football late, but he was already down. The whistle came in. Quick pitch out to Sean White. Out to the 35, stayed in bounds as he gets hauled down. The senior, from Memphis, Tennessee. He hadn't been able to have a big play except for that opening run, the 39-yard run. Remember that?
That's right. That's right. They've done a nice job of closing Sean White down on the outside. They were not solving the pitch. Wake Forest defense was not early in the game, but they have rallied outside. And Terry, one last thought on the executive branch. All the armed forces underneath the president fall in that executive branch. So another reason why they're my favorite.
I got you. Katani straight ahead as they run behind that line, which looks very different to a defensive tackle as you're lining up against it.
Yeah, it really does. You know, the line splits, meaning the area between each offensive lineman is very wide for Navy. And we'll take a couple looks here in the next play or two to create some angles and also create some running room for Katani as he searches for creases up front against Wake Forest. And take a look at the splits here in between the offensive linemen. They're unusually wide. Katani testing inside.
Kaipo knifes through up ahead to the 43. Good run and a first down for the midshipman.
And Terry, the reason why they do that, it creates some angles. It creates some blocking angles, but it's almost like a microcosm. Go ahead and roll it, guys, but it's almost like a microcosm of the spread offenses. You want to spread that front 7 and sometimes front 8 for Wake Forest out and create natural creases in the defense.
That's the look right there.
Yeah,
as we end the 3rd quarter, we head to the 4th here, the Eagle Bank Bowl at RFK, and Wake up by 1. That's what it looked like and sounded like prior to kickoff today at RFK Stadium here in Washington, D.C. Pilots now safely down on the ground. We head to the 4th. Terry Gannon, David Norrie, Quint Kesnick with you. 14-13. 1st and 10. Kaipo got to keep it. Lot of room. Finally run out of bounds. Big time run. by the quarterback of maybe 35 yards.
We talked about responsibility football, and that's how you have to play it on defense. You let up on one play, and Kaipo Noah will make you pay for it. The defense just forgot about the quarterback on that play.
Kaipo Noah, Kahayaku, and Hata from Hawaii.
Nice work with the football. You saw the fake with the left hand. He set the defense up with a little hand fake like he was going to pitch the ball outside, and he is so quick turning the ball up. He's not really a home run threat with his speed, but more than capable to make the big play.
Coach and a head a guy running the show at quarterback, both from Hawaii, surveying the landscape right now on 1st and 10 from the 15. Wake Forest sideline trying to change their defense positioning right now. Katani, the fullback, ahead for a couple. And 14-26 and counting here.
Great problems for Pac-10 teams. BYU took down UCLA 59-zip.
Tough running. 1st and goal inside the 5. Katani's pumped up. A gain of 9.
Well, that's what a couple successful runs outside with your quarterback and your pitch man can do. It softens the defense between the tackles. Katani got off to a slow start this year for Navy. The coaching staff challenged him going into the Rutgers game to hit it harder, to play more physically with the football, and he's responded. Big year for Eric Katani.
22 yards away from 1,000 for the season. Kaipo wants to throw it. Going to throw this one away. Curtis Sharp, he was looking to him in the corner of the end zone, but it was well defended.
Sharp was covered in the back corner of the end zone, and they don't go to Sharp very often.
They don't go to the air very often, especially they get down inside the 5. So as I mentioned, 22 yards away from 1,000. Good average. Well, both these backs very good in terms of yards per carry. Kaipo to the 3. Did a broken play, or do you just keep it?
Well, they run that lead option sometimes where they'll take the fullback up into the hole. There's the fake, and then he'll follow the fullback up inside. And I also think that he read outside that Wake Forest reacted to the pitch man. You want to be very careful. The field goal gives you the lead.
3rd and goal as they come to the line of scrimmage. The Wake defense moving around. Kaipo fighting to try to get their touchdown. Niumatalolo signaling the 2 after the 6 on the board. Harmon's already out there. Yeah, they're going to come back in with the 2, and there's Kaipo. So they'll go for the 2 and make. Yeah, look how far he is out on the field to make sure that the offense knows what it's doing.
They love that lead option, that fake to the fullback. They get so much done inside the 5 short yardage situation when Kaipo follows the fullback up into the hole, breaks the goal line.
Midshipman going for 2. As they spread him out this time. Different formation than we've seen throughout the game. Straight drop to the end zone. Not even close. Nowhere to go. Shun White was the man he was looking for, but he was behind not 1 but 2 defenders for Wake. Kaipo gets 6 on the board though. And Navy leads here in the 4th. Smiles on the sideline for Navy right now. They have just taken the lead, 19-14 over Wake Forest here in the 4th quarter of the Eagle Bank Bowl. And now the Wake offense a chance to go back to work. Riley Skinner, as we take a look at our Assurant Health playbook.
The running backs are very important in pass protection. Take a look at Clint Sovey, the linebacker. He's going to come on a blitz. Josh Adams lined up next to Riley Skinner. Watch him get up into the legs of Sovey. A perfect blitz pickup by Josh Adams. Then Riley Skinner repositions in the pocket, throws a strike down inside the 5 to DJ Bolden. Our first scoring drive for Wake Forest. And have to see some more of that from Wake Forest here in the 4th quarter if they expect to win this game.
John Teague sending it through the hands of C.J. Washington and out the back of the end zone. And he's back here in Washington, D.C. 12:30 left in this one. Riley Skinner today. How about these numbers, David? 7 of 7 for 97 yards. And he's a guy who has led them on 5 fourth-quarter comebacks to win games in his career. 2 of those in 2008.
Can't get much better than hitting 100%.
Out of the shotgun, quick throw, far sideline, complete to Chip Brinkman, the senior from Bel Air, Florida. His first catch of the afternoon, run out of bounds by Keetrick Buffett.
You know, when Wake Forest won the ACC championship, Terry, 2 years ago, Riley Skinner was throwing it about 15 times a game. Last year they go to the Meineke Car Care Bowl, about 20 attempts. Riley Skinner for Jim Grobe. This year they came out early in the year. They thought they could throw it 30, 35 times a game, and they realized very early on they weren't able to protect him. Riley didn't play well when he got a lot of attempts, and they have scaled back.
Here comes Harris to the 32. Last year, that Meineke Car Care Bowl, a win over UConn. You go back a couple of seasons ago, and they played in the FedEx Orange Bowl. Lost to Louisville there.
That's right. And, Louisville, clearly the more talented team going into that game. And Jim Grobe's team was not able to secure the football, turned the ball over quite a bit in the Orange Bowl. But like when you look back on that season, the 9-6 win against Georgia Tech, winning the ACC championship, what a job Jim Grobe has done.
First time since 1952 that they have put together 3 straight winning seasons. Bolden leaps over one across the 40 and close to a first down. His 4th catch of the afternoon. That was spectacular.
Well, and Wake Forest getting some things from their offense that they have not gotten in the regular season in 2008. Offensive line creating some run game today. Not many wide receivers with talent after the catch on this roster. But DJ Bolden, what a play. Going up in the air, hurdling the defender, moving the chains.
Got a good block from his tight end, Ben Wooster, too. 1st and 10. The clock continues to run under 11 minutes now. Harris has had a big afternoon. The starting tailback today to the 49. Good gain on first down.
We saw these two teams in the first game. It was Navy and their defense delivering the blows, coming up, making big hits.
Quinny's got 128 yards today. He came in with just 40 yards on the season and 1 touchdown. Skinner can run it. Not far, though. Just shy of the 45. Clint Sovey, the junior from Jacksonville. Guy's been a big part of that defense for Navy this year. Bit undersized, but he's got a lot of speed.
He was a hero against Temple. One of the biggest comebacks in Navy history, trailing 27-7.
That was
in
an
the 4th quarter.
Game.
Inside a minute to go, looked like Temple was going to salt the game away, and Sovey came up with the fumble recovery and the return for the touchdown. They won it in overtime.
3rd and 7. Can they get a stop here? Skinner with time. Can't give him that much time. He's got a man inside the 30. Complete. Brinkman fighting his way down to the 10. Lost the helmet, held on to the football. And a gain of 45 for the Demon Deacons.
I can't say enough about Riley Skinner and how he helps his offensive line with his feet. Brinkman got behind number 11. Keetrick Buffin. Buffin fell asleep and did not really think. I think in his mind he didn't feel like Riley Skinner was capable of setting and delivering the ball that far downfield.
Ball set down just outside the 10, so it's 1st and 10. Harris Inside to the 9, maybe. Brings up second.
Seems like every big play that Wake Forest has made, and there haven't been many, but the big plays they've made, Terry, in the passing game have been Riley Skinner moving, shifting in the pocket, and then finding receivers that have broken off the tops of their routes and created additional space down the field.
Makes it awfully difficult for that secondary. Harris to the 7. That's it. You got to stay with it and stay with it because he's going to buy time moving around in the pocket or out of it.
Yeah, you love it when you're a wide receiver and you have a guy like Riley Skinner because the longer time that you have to work down the field, the better ability to take advantage of secondary defenders. And big third down coming up here.
Three receivers set. Harris back there with Skinner. Looking to the end zone. Back of the end zone. Touchdown. Ben Wooster, the tight end.
Riley Skinner had the worst game of his career in the first game of the season against Navy, but he has been brilliant throwing the football. How about that touch throw? Just dropping it in over the head of Middleton, the safety, to Wooster. One of the more talented tight ends in the ACC. Had a bit of a disappointing season, but I can't say enough about the way that Riley Skinner has thrown the ball.
1 point lead, so they go for 2 here. Skinner. Great throw again. Another good catch. Devon Brown. An offense that has been so sharp since that last drive of the first half. And Wooster, they expected big things from him, and mostly because of the injuries this year. He's fallen shy. Now back as a big part of the offense, a big part of this bowl game. And with 7:52 left, Wake is up by 3. Good look from in front of the White House here in Washington, D.C. The first ever Eagle Bank Bowl. And Wake having just taken the lead. Then Wooster, the touchdown catch. They went for 2. They got it. 3-point lead. Shun White from his own 15. To the outside. Big time return. A flag is down back at the 40. White all the way down to the 12. But there is a penalty marker way back at the 37-yard line.
Holding. Return team. Number 58. 10-yard penalty on the spot of foul. First down.
That's what Ken thinks of that. They're bringing it back. So 7:42, and not the same field position that you expected after the return from Shun White.
Trey Grissom, number 58, gets hit for the hold. And Shun White gets us a look at just how explosive he can be. Average over 9 yards a carry at the slot back position over his career. Sub 4.4 speed. And there it is right there. Let's go ahead and freeze it. Right here is the hole.
Kaheaku and Hata back to work on the roll. Kaipo making a decision to keep it now. Good game. Has a first down across the 40 to the 42. Gain of 15 on first down. And plenty of time in this one for a lot to still go on. Consoling him after that. Or telling him what he did wrong. I'm not quite sure. But
or
it was
fixing the headgear.
Big break for Wake Forest. First and 10 at the 42 now. Straight ahead with the fullback. Up to the 46-yard line goes Katani. And Chance McClintock on the stop.
Well, it's really great that it comes down to this for some of these Navy seniors. Clint Kesnick, our man down on the field, talked about it at the top of the show, how this is the last game for all these seniors at Navy, and it comes down to a drive at the end of the football game.
Quick pitch, Shun White. Upended behind the line of scrimmage by Brandon G, who read that perfectly. You got to try to time that too. When Shun White goes in motion as a defender, you're reading a lot of different things.
And Shun White, we've seen how his speed can put pressure on a defense. The cornerbacks are so important against this spread option offense. And I think both G and Alfonso Smith have done a nice job of taking the pitch man out on the perimeter.
Defense for Wake, a bit confused, looking over the sideline for some help. Now set. On third down, Kaipo, to the ground. Kyle Wilbur, the red shirt freshman, with a big play.
Now Wilbur is the defensive end of the future for Wake Forest. The coaches say he's got a great upside. Watch him from the backside. Comes all the way down the line, closes. You can't teach speed at the defensive end position.
Kyle Delahook on for the punt. DJ Bolden back at his own 17. Got a chance here to return this one. And out close to the 27-yard line. So Riley Skinner comes back on. And the Wake offense, he's been perfect on the day upon a 43-yard, 17-yard return for Skinner next. 5:12 left. Ken Niumatalolo very upset about that last punt and something that was not called. Harris, the carry on first down again. Tough running out to the 31. Can you add to that, Quint?
Yeah, Terry, I think part of that was him trying to fire up his team, but the call on the punt, he really felt that one of his players covering that punt was pushed from behind, and especially coming off the holding violation against Navy on the Shun White big return, you can see the frustration creeping in on the Navy sideline.
And we're watching it right now, Quint. Maybe that block in the back that wasn't called. I'm not sure how much contact there was because we slowed it down, but that's maybe what he was referring to.
That was Brandon G, the cornerback for Wake Forest, and a lot of the frontline players for Wake Forest play on special teams for Jim Grove. It did look like it was a block in the back.
Navy with 29 forced turnovers this year. This would be an excellent time to come up with one. Rich Belton, the fullback, spins his way ahead for maybe 3.
You hear a lot of coaches at the NFL level talk about throwing the ball to get ahead and running the ball to win the game late. And that's what Wake Forest is going to have to do here.
Ricky Dobbs getting ready. Backup quarterback, the sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia, who played in 7 games this year. So
he's the passer.
Yep.
And they may need to throw it if they do get it back.
Trying to get to the first down marker. Looked like he was just shy. Rich Belton.
I think it's interesting here that Navy's using their timeouts early, and a lot of it has to do with the 40-second clock, the new clock rules this season.
It was a good yard short. I mean, it wasn't a football length. It was a solid yard. So they come on to punt right now.
If this is a 4-point game, I think Jim Grove might go for it. But because it's a 3-point game, you don't make it. Navy pretty close to field goal position already if they take over.
Mario Washington back at his own 23-yard line. Shane Popham on for the punt as the clock now starts to run. And Wake will stand there as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, the mids are on full alert here for a fake punt.
Popham. Johnson almost got there. Washington the fair catch, and they will start from their own 27. We'll see who comes out to run the show as the quarterback for Navy with 3:25 left. Kahiaku and Hada is the man who comes out at quarterback. It's not Ricky Dobbs, so they don't make the switch. keep it on the ground with their quarterback a short game. What do you think about this decision?
Well, I think they were warming Dobbs up on the sideline in case Wake Forest picked up a first down and Navy was able to get the ball back with less time on the clock. But with over 3 minutes to go, Ken Niumatalolo felt like he had enough time to stay with this conventional offense and go with his #1 quarterback.
Quick pitch to Shun White, run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by Brandon G. And you see up the top of your screen, there are 2 timeouts left for Navy. It was an official's timeout, one of those 2 that were taken to measure. So they have 2 left.
G's had a super game, number 17. He's gotten great penetration. He's taken on blockers. That is a big play with the game on the line, and now Navy out of their comfort zone. They're going to be forced to throw the football here, and safe to say Wake Forest is going to be focusing on Barnes, the wide receiver.
Number 89, their leading receiver throughout the year. White in motion. Kaipo under pressure. Lost the football. Navy guy has it, but behind the line of scrimmage. It was Eric Katani who actually came up with it in midair, but now you're closing in on 2 minutes. And another timeout taken by the Naval Academy.
Yeah, Navy's going to have to go for it on 4th down. Well, you talked about the Wake Forest running game and getting yards on the ground, but Riley Skinner has been flawless. He's kept the ball away from the white jerseys. Accuracy and playmaking ability with his feet.
Time of possession, too. Just a minute between the 2 teams. Here comes Navy. 4th down. They need this. Kaipo scrambling, desperately looking to get there. Not going to. Ball is loose. Wake's going to come up with it. It's out of bounds. Still scrambling. Stayed inbounds. Either way, though, that was a last-ditch run by the Navy quarterback. See Alfonso Smith walking with Kaipo to the sideline. 1:51 left. And Wake taking over with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, this was not the situation that Navy wanted to find itself in, having to pass to move the chains. That was McClintock that closed and created the fumble. But it was Aaron Curry who provided the pressure off the snap of the football. And a very fitting end of the season for number 59. Aaron Curry came clean on Kaipo.
So Wake takes over 1st and 10 at the 36, under 2 minutes to go. And Navy with just 1 timeout, which they will not burn.
Yeah, 4th and long for Navy. Game on the line. Look at 59. Aaron Curry just hounding Kayako and Hada. Not much of a chance to pick up the 1st down. And it looked like Aaron Curry was closing pretty quickly from behind at the end of that play.
Rich Belton on the ground. The fullback still up. He may get to the end zone. Yep, he does. Fitting the way this offense has clicked since that last drive of the 1st half, David.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a late flag on Belton leaving his feet at the goal line. The points will stand, and it has been fitting, Terry. Just the way that this offensive line, it's been a much maligned group for all of 2008, but they have found a way to work together, and they have overpowered this defensive front for Navy. Belton lowering the shoulder, getting the pad level low.
35 yards to the end zone for number 35. Sam Swank, who's been a terrific kicker for Wake throughout his career. On for the extra point. Man good. So it's turned into a double-digit lead. The ground game with guys like Belton and Kevin Harris, huge today for Wake on offense. But then in the air, Riley Skinner more than made up for the interceptions in the poor game against Navy the first time around. Kick taken at the 42 and across midfield. Still up all the way down to the 34-yard line. So good return. Kevin Campbell, the backup fullback. Ricky Dobbs coming on at quarterback now. And he throws it. He looks to throw it. Throws it off it when he comes in. Hit hard from behind. And this one playing to the very end. Antonio Wilson, a backup defensive end. Getting his licks in late.
And quarterback position, not a lot of fun to play when you're trailing, and you have to be careful when you're buying time back towards the line of scrimmage, looking for receivers downfield, because sometimes the big boys are trailing you. Antonio lowering the headgear. Looks like they're going to line up for a field goal here. You know, this is a very heady decision by Ken Niumatalolo. He's going to kick a field goal, and if he makes it, they have time for an onside kick.
Matt Harmon on second down is not going to make it, and there's a little bit of fighting going on at the line of scrimmage. A big pile at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a nice decision to kick the field goal there, because you want to make sure you leave enough time to win the football game, and the only way you can win the football game is get a field goal between the uprights, go for the onside kick, and take a couple shots into the end zone. That shows me the coach is on top of his game when it comes to clock management and managing the end of the game.
Well, they finally separate these two teams, and we've seen that in the two matchups fairly often. There's the Gatorade by the Butkus winner himself, Aaron Curry. He's got a lot more football left in his future. 33 seconds left. To one knee goes Skinner. Pretty impressive win with what Wake came back from this afternoon, David.
Yeah, the hypothermia risk goes up considerably when you get the...
It's only got 33 seconds to get to the locker room, and less than that now. So Jim Grove and the Demon Deacons win another bowl game. They win the inaugural Eagle Bank Bowl here in Washington, D.C. And Navy losing another close one, although it is double digits, but much closer than that. Riley Skinner, what a career he is. And just a junior from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, he comes back, and a lot to look forward with Skinner at the controls. A lot to look forward to for Wake Forest and Jim Grove, and I think they're going to be able to build an offense around him next year.
Send it down to Quinn as the fireworks go off.
Coach Jim Grove, congratulations. Down 13-0. What changed? What was the turning point?
Well, it didn't feel very good, to be honest with you. I thought our defense was playing pretty good. Took our offense a while to get going. Once we had the nice drive at the end of the first half, that's when we thought, hey, maybe we can get this thing going a little bit.
How do you best characterize what you watched from Riley Skinner, your quarterback?
Well, he played great today. You know, back earlier in the season, he didn't play very well. I think he kind of came in on a mission today. We couldn't ask him to play any better than he did today.
There's a lot of talk about the Navy seniors, but your seniors have done some great things themselves. What did you say to them before this game?
Well, they're the heart and soul of our football team. They've been that way for 3 years now. We're going to really miss these guys, and I challenged our young kids. I knew our old guys had played pretty good. We need our young guys to step up and give these guys a win, and they did.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Terry.
Quinn, thank you very much. So big win for Wake Forest here as we kick off the bowl season on ESPN. Fine fashion for the Demon Deacons.
It was a lot of fun, partner, and I'm looking forward to a lot more football here, not only today, but as we work towards the New Year's, and great schedule. I get home and get on that couch.
You're right. 405 total yards for Wake today. 29-19 your final score. For more on our game, tune into ESPN News. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long, everybody, as we send you back to the studio and Wendy Nix.